welcome to tonight's edition of the Late Night Enforcers. Tonight, I'm going to interview two duels that got themselves into the Destiny paid beta. We're gonna talk to them about how it is to play space commanders on the planet Earth. Tonight, I'm speaking with Black and White. I'm not going to take the time to learn your names just because it doesn't matter, because we're just going to talk for only a few minutes, and then we're going to go on with our lives after dealing with this so that we can get back to the grind that is life and everything that we enjoy about it. So, digging straight into this, gentlemen, tell me what you thought of Destiny's beta.
Oh, fuck. Destiny's paid beta, don't you mean the Division?
Oh, snap! I did say the wrong game.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Or did I?
I mean, I definitely enjoyed the fuck out of it. I mean, I think it's going to overtake Destiny in the long run.
Oh, without a doubt. Like, I'm already hyped up on it. I'm the guy that just sat there and just pre-ordered the whole gold edition before the beta even came out. So
hold up. What the fuck is the gold edition?
Oh, the gold edition is you already get like 4 free like costume packs starting off. The gold edition, all it is just you get the season pack and you get 2 more costume packs with like 4 more go bags and 2 rifles, 2 shotguns, and all that extra goody stuff.
Yeah, how much that cost you?
About $30 more.
$30 more. So you spent $90 on a game that you've spent maybe, how many hours do you think you put into the beta?
It actually was logged it, and I actually put a day and a half into the beta. So. Okay.
Well, that's a fair amount of time into a beta. I take it you enjoyed the hell out of it.
Enjoyed the hell out of it. Especially.
Now let me back up, and I know I was joking about Destiny earlier, but did you play in the Destiny beta too?
No.
No. Okay.
I actually have something to say about that because I did. I noticed something that I had never noticed before because every time Dre and I would play, we'd be in party chat. So I wasn't paying attention when we were running around Dark Zone, coming up against other players and shit, what was going on. But I was solo for a little while last night before kind of everybody got on that I was playing with. And similar to the Destiny beta, when you got close to somebody, you heard them talking in their group. These 3 dudes hunted me down, and I heard them say, "You ran into the wrong dead end, motherfucker," and dropped me. So, yeah. And I mean, that's one thing Ian, you and I have discussed about Destiny is that we wish they would have kept it. And I really hope that the Division keeps that aspect, that you can just get close to somebody and start talking, and you can hear each other. You don't have to be in a fire team or in a group.
I believe the way the game made is just it fits the Division better than it would Destiny in this case. Just based on like how good you can hear them by the proximity, how close you are to them, and basically if there's anybody trying to sneak up on you, kind of give you a heads up. Because I tell you, in that game, when you running solo in the Dark Zone, hey.
Now, see, okay, so help me understand what the Dark Zone is. From what I've gathered and looking at it, the Dark Zone is the PvP style area. It's not really like deathmatch per se, but if you see someone and you just want to shoot them, you could just fucking shoot them. Is that fair to say?
Essentially, the Dark Zone is a... To
Dark
put
Zone?
it in... Well, so it's the one area of the game that is like a constant, optional free-for-all match. You can group up with your friends in it and roll as a team of 4, or you can roll solo. There are NPCs that spawn up, and you can get experience and gear from them. It's a good way. It's essentially a giant gear farm, is what it really is, as far as the beta is concerned. Now, when in the full release, could they have potential bounty missions and things that pop up randomly in there? Definitely. It's like that aspect is completely open for customizability in what they do with it. Like, they can go wherever they want to with that. that's not necessarily story, but they can even tie it into the story and make you go into the dark zone, come back out, whatever the case may be. But you can drop other players. Like if I ran across you in the dark zone, I could drop you and steal whatever gear you had picked up in the dark zone. Anything you've purchased, I can't steal. So you can't go buy a badass shotgun or a badass vest or pieces of gear and then lose it. But if whatever gear you collect throughout your time in the dark zone can be stolen from you and then extracted.
Now, when you're saying stolen, I'm assuming what you're referring to are the yellow packs that were on people's bags.
Yeah.
Once it gets extracted, is it then yours and no one can take it? Okay. Now, here's a question I've got for you guys. And I don't know if this was available in the beta because a lot of my time watching the beta was with the sound off while I was doing other stuff, and I was just kind of looking at it like, and then I'd watch yours and moderate your chats and things along those lines. Do you have the ability to give items to other players?
I think, in a way, in the beta, you do. Obviously, the way that you would give your items to other players is obviously you would have to kill yourself, drop your items, let the next player pick it up, and then do that. But I think, actually, I read into the article about 2 days ago where trading is going to be an option in that. And even going back to what Ryan said in the previous question, they are planning on implementing like actual quests, actual missions in the dark zone that you can do. So it won't be just PvP. You can actually, it's going to be a whole section in there where you can do, the whole quest and things. So you don't have to just be in there in a free roam area and just planning on running your missions and being good. You actually have to run the missions and be on the lookout for the other players. So.
Okay.
That's going to make the dark zone hella fun. Like, I am going to say that if the dark zone is just run around shooting people, I'd probably cancel my pre-order.
Yeah.
That's all it looked like to me. Like
That's
a lot
all
of
it was in the beta because you're just testing server limits. I mean, I understand why all they left it be was that with the NPCs and all that in the beta. I completely get it, but as long as it's not that way in the full release,
because it's going to be another repetitive shooter.
Yeah, it's going to be another Destiny if that's the case. Yeah. And I really want this game to overtake Destiny.
Yes.
And that's what scares me about this game is like Ryan knows. I don't know if I've ever told you, Dre, but I was a day one on Destiny. I played through the story relatively quickly. When I first started it, I had two other people that I was playing with, so we had a fire team, and we were playing through it, and we got each other through the whole story. But then it was one of these things where after that, hell, like halfway through the game, one of them dropped out, sold the game. Just, this isn't my bag, and just bailed. So then it was just me and one other person playing through the rest of it, and as soon as it was done, it was like, okay, well, we can't get into raids because you need 6, and we could do strikes, because some strikes you could, I think at that time you could still do with the, if you do it at the lowest level, you could do the matchmaking for it, but that was it. I mean, it was one of these things where it's like, wow, this is not a lot of fucking content. Now, one thing I will give Destiny credit for, and I'm sorry I'm going off on that real quick, is they did build a real strong community real quick with having lack of shit in their game. So, I mean, that's always a bonus, but hopefully the Division will have some way to put people together. And do you guys know, are there going to be raids in the Division or anything like that? Whoop.
I don't know if there's going to be raids in the Division. It's possible. I think you could throw that into the Dark Zone if you wanted to. You could make it as a part of the main story if you wanted to. But they do have a matchmaking portion where if you can be, like, you can go and do a mission and set it on hard knowing that you can't do it yourself, but then get you can select matchmaking to bring in other players and put the option out there, hey, this guy's looking for a group. They jump in, and you're good. And it actually tells you when you open up into group management in some of the videos that I recorded with Dre, when I'm scrolling through group management, you see it'll tell you at the bottom of your friends list, hey, these guys aren't your friends, but they're nearby. These guys are close to you. You can invite them into your group if you want.
Well, That's interesting. We might be running into a slight technical difficulty, but we're going to just keep running with it. Oh, okay, there you are. Oh, I saw somebody else's picture down there, and I was like, this is going to get real awkward real quick, especially with the way I open this. All of a sudden, something different's happening, and let's see. So I noticed that they have the Borderlands color scheme to their weaponry. You've got, correct me if I'm wrong, you got the white for the very common, green, blue, purple, and then gold.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Now, did you guys see any, let's see, purple weapons in your time with the beta?
Yep.
Yep, had a full set.
I was working on it. I actually had the ability to, before the beta ended, I could have bought one of the shotguns that was purple and some purple gear. And I was working to get enough credits to try and get one of the gold guns just before it. And then I was like, you know, why? Because I'm not going to be able to keep it. I don't get to keep any of this gear from the beta going into the main game, so why follow my traditional completionist mentality and get it just to get it? The fact that it's available shows me that it's going to be a function in the main game.
I mean, I had a full set, and it made playing everything so much better because obviously you can tell the difference from how the different. Because basically, as you go up the different colors, your gun has more perks and talents that you can unlock based off, you know, how much firepower you have, how much electronic power you have.
You can't type shit like that in the chat and not expect us to like crack down. Okay, so you got perks.
It made playing the game way more enjoyable. My biggest thing is they restocked, you know, so I started playing the first day. So they was restocking every day as you play it. So we had like at the different checkpoints they had the different vendors and they would have different stuff every day. Obviously you can't get to the purple gear till you was ranked 12 in the dead zone. So I reached it pretty early and I went on a lot of manhunts to get a lot of credits, and each day I checked the vendors, and eventually I got a full set of armor and weaponry to use.
Okay. So
I will say that some of the glitches were kind of funny.
Yeah. Check the video.
So let me ask you this. So there is, other than the weaponry, there is also armor sets, much like in Destiny, where you have different color schemed armor pieces?
Yes.
Armor pieces operate similar to the weapon sets, where off of their attack and defense, it'll bump your stats for your DPS, for your health, and for your skill power, for essentially for your recharge. So that's very similar with that mechanic. Now, the armor isn't a vanity item at all, like it is in Destiny. In Destiny, it's both stat and vanity. In the Division, you have clothing that is all your vanity items. So you can change up your clothing, which really has no true impact on your character unless you get the super go faster speed shoes.
That's another story in itself.
Yeah, right. I don't know how that fucking happened. But you can run around. I ran around in a giant winter coat half the time just because I thought it looked cool, and it really had nothing to do with my stats. Strict vanity. You could go with a hoodie if you wanted to.
I mean, I'm running around with a turtleneck. I got to tell you right now, black people don't look good to get turtlenecks. Just saying.
Especially big linebacker black people. Listen to me stumble after that opening. Black people.
You're getting all scared because he's seasoned. So, I mean, all in all, I'm sold. I didn't do the season pass on this one, Ian, interestingly enough. I may if I feel that the content in the game is worth it. I didn't feel it was worth it on the pre-order. I pre-ordered it just to check out the beta. The beta was a success for me, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it and not cancel my pre-order, and I'm going to see how the game goes, and if it goes well, I may drop the extra money eventually and get the season pass with the additional content if I hear that content is worth it. Dre already having it, he's probably going to end up having to be our tester for that. just instead of it being me for the tester to see how that goes. But I mean, I'm willing to, if they put the season pass on a discount in like 3 months, then I know that they're dying for players, and I'll buy it.
I
But
will. I will say this though. Comparing it to Destiny, of course, I'm all about the division and everything. Of course, you know my spill on that. But I will say Destiny do got an edge in like the gunplay action, the gunplay aspect of it, because it is the first person shooter. The division is the third person. And I kind of like division in that way. But when it comes to aiming and shooting, and hitting that target, Destiny obviously just kills at that point. So I think if they just kind of got that more, like that aspect kind of cleaned up more. I mean, at a sense, it is some limitations because it is third person. You only can do as much as you can do. But if they was even just make some of the scopes zoom in a little bit more, or get that adjustable zoom on these sniper rifles, I feel like that would make a huge difference in the gameplay.
Isn't there a way? Because I saw a lot of people where it is the third person thing, and they would do the, like what we would call the down the sights, like the left trigger on the Destiny, but all it would do is kind of pull in on the character a little bit. But isn't there, like, if you click in on one of the sticks, I guess, then don't you look through the scope if it has a scope?
It depends. If it has a scope. So if you've got a sniper, if you've got an ACOG, any zoomed scope, any zoom or magnification power scope, you'll zoom in on them. You'll see on my videos I had an ACOG on my M4, and then whenever I would throw up my sniper rifle, I would zoom in on that every now and again just to be able to actually hit targets. But if you're running a hollow sight like in EOTech or something like that, some kind of reflex sight, it's just gonna it is gonna zoom in a little bit, but it's not gonna go traditionally zoom in like a normal aim down the sights type setting. It'll just get a little bit more tight on the target, and that's about it. I do agree with Dre, going back to what he said about the gunplay and the accuracy with the stability. The stability in that game is all wonky. It's crazy right now. I found that when you add suppressors to it, they do bump the stats a little bit. They'll give you stability off the first couple rounds.
Yeah.
And so the gear attachments to the guns themselves really are going to help with your stats. You're going to have to pay attention to that in order to maintain a good amount of accuracy to stay effective. Some machine guns are coming back in a big way.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that they bring a UMP to the table. I saw the Chris Vector 45. I did pick that up, played with that a little bit. The MP5 is on point. But I really hope they can come in with a UMP 45 because that is my jam.
Did they have a P90?
No, not that I saw, but I think eventually, it'll probably be in the main release because it's a fairly popular modern firearm.
And just to throw that out there, if we're talking about guns, I'm definitely going to say my personal favorite with the assault rifle is definitely going to be the SCAR. Without a doubt.
SCAR's on point. I almost got the ACR.
Or the ACR. I heard the ACR is a good one, too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all. I understand everything that was just said. Yes. Yes.
Well, if you've played a recent Call of Duty game, then you do, because all those guns are in those games.
I was drunk, so I used that as I didn't mean to cheat on you, baby.
So before I don't want to steal the reins away from you, Ian, but we haven't hit the one thing we normally do, and I do want to hit that up. Speaking of being drunk, I don't know what you're drinking tonight, but I know the last time we had a video I mentioned that I was doing that whiskey of the month thing, so I wanted to bring the fact that I finally got it. Throw that out there.
That good.
Bring it a little bit closer to the camera so people can probably try and read it. And you can't because it's bright as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I will read it to you. It is a New York wheat whiskey called 77 Whiskey from Brooklyn Distilling. Not Brooklyn as in the actual city. It's spelled all funky. Aged in American oak barrels. Having never had a wheat whiskey before, I have to say it is a little light. It's a little thin, but it's got a nice punch to it. I enjoy it.
We'll save some of that since I'm coming over Sunday for this super foosball extravaganza.
I got plenty, bro.
Hold on now.
What?
Y'all didn't invite the Dre? What?
You are in another state, currently enrolled in
Hey,
college.
a
If you're gonna,
drive? No, I'm not
no,
actually.
he
I
graduated.
graduated this summer.
Oh, and they let you back in? What? I mean, what did you do? Whoa! Oh no, shit's
Oh, hey,
changing again on me.
he's changing stuff now. So okay. Um,
No, you're
so
muted, bro.
yeah, he's
I,
muted. I don't know
I
what's
had to
up with
clear
that,
it
but
up.
anyway, okay,
I had to
there he
clear it
is.
up.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about what I'm drinking. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be judged at all. Fixed it. Yes, you did. Sorry. So I'm a big, as you guys have probably heard me talk on many different podcasts or on this podcast or other things, I'm a big pumpkin ale fan, pumpkin beer fan. So I found this one called Crunkin' Pumpkin.
Definitely getting judged.
What? Why am I looking at Ryan's dick? I'm just. It's all up in a little bit of the screen. He didn't even say anything, but it's a so what am I drinking? What does it say about it? It is so it's ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. It's actually pretty good. Why what did you turn on in there? Because now I can hear something.
Oh, now you can hear something. No, I had turned down my TV that's right behind everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now it sounded like white static noise. Although the glass that I'm drinking out of
Yeah.
it's a
Interesting.
pumpkin it's a
I
pumpkin
noticed
beer
that.
glass, but that's not from those guys. It's just I wanted like a pimp glass while I was drinking with Dre.
You
Mm.
just lost some reputation off that.
Dude, I have no fucking reputation. Okay, so earlier you were talking about well, shit, let me use the word reputation because you made it sound like you had to grind Dark Zone reputation to be able to purchase certain tiers of shit from the vendors in the Dark Zone. So is that similar to Destiny?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ryan can speak more on that because obviously he will tell you in cold hard lesson that he learned that you can lose rank and quickly. So you
Oh,
don't
Almost
get
fell
to
out
a
of my chair.
rank and you don't just stay there. It's a chance, and you can easily lose what 3 ranks in a matter of 20
So
minutes.
it does bring in the Halo D-ranking feature, where it's not reputation, it's actual experience. Um, so you can, at any point when you die, you'll lose a certain amount of experience. When if you go rogue, to explain real quick, just to explain going rogue. Going rogue is you've dropped another person in the multiplayer out of the match completely. They're done. You've killed them, and now you are now marked. You've got that skull over your head. You go rogue enough times, you get manhunted, where everybody in the entire map is now gunning you down for additional points because they'll get mad experience if they take you
And they
out.
have
Now,
your location
you
at
have
all
like
times.
300 seconds. You've got this nifty gold shit all over you. You've got 300 seconds to try and live. If you make it, you'll get good experience and badass credits. You'll be able to go buy shit. But if you die, you'll lose anywhere from 400 to 600 experience each time. Plus, you'll lose some credits. Credits you probably lose like 40 or 50. That's not that bad. But I deranked from 12 to 9 in one session because we got murked mercilessly
Every
because
time.
everybody was hanging out at one safe house. Literally, the whole map was at one safe house, just gunning each other down.
And it was funny because they was actually looking for me because I was the elusive one. They will always kill Ryan and our other buddy, but I will always use the cheat to my advantage and hit that beta area and transport into the safe room so nobody can touch me. So I
so
would kill 2 or 3 people and then basically dip out.
so it sounds like now also you're saying that you jumped up like in the time that you were playing the beta, you got up to level or rank 12 in the Dark Zone shit. So that at least tells me so far that it will go quicker when you're trying to rank up to be in something because it wasn't until Ryan, you and I were playing Destiny on the Xbox One after you bought it like fucking almost a year after it came out to get like rank 3 with the Cryptarch in Destiny. Now there's a question.
Yeah.
Do you have a Cryptarch?
No.
There's nothing like that?
No, there's no master ref fuck yourself.
Okay, so whenever you see something purple and you pick it up, it is purple when you.
It is an item. It actually. So this is the fun part, and Dre can attest to this too. You can walk up to the gear, like it'll highlight it, whether it's green, blue, purple, whatever it is, whatever happens to drop. It sits there and it highlights in this giant pillar. You walk up to it, and it gives you the option of what you want to loot. You can either take it all, and it'll tell you what everything is. So you don't have blueprints or anything. Now you can get blueprints, and you can go craft, but you are doing the crafting, right?
Okay.
I'm willing to bet there's probably going to be an RNGesus factor to that at some point.
Yeah,
I would be stupid to think that there isn't. But
I'm sorry, man. I've got to get this out before I totally forget because this is a heavy ABV. I was actually watching when you weren't streaming it. I was watching Ubisoft stream the beta so that I could hear a lot of what they were saying. They were saying that there will be crafting. It wasn't actually available in the beta. Like, I think there was some items that you could pick up, but it was just because they wanted to make sure that the item pickups work. They may have had a couple of things that you could, but not as deep as what they want in the final game. But they did say, it's going to come down to the point where that's RNGesus, when it comes to how things come out, because you could put 3 or 4 different things together, but there's no telling what kind of specific shit is going to be on it. But if you do put like 3 or 4, however many green things together to craft, you're going to get a green thing. If you put a bunch of purple shit together, you're going to get a purple thing.
I think to speak on that too, I don't know nothing about the RNGesus subject y'all talking about, but
it's a random number generator Jesus.
Let's go into the Cryptarch in Destiny, dude.
But I will say, I think got a lot of gear from, because basically I'll go around the dark zone just stealing people's shit and extracting stuff that I don't need. So when I get back to my stash, I was deconstructed, kind of like in Destiny, like you break it down, and you would get either weapon parts or like what level the gear is. So you break down a blue, you get blue weapon parts. You break down a green, you get green weapon parts, green tools, different stuff like that. So my guess is the blueprints that we get during the missions that we played, they're going to have certain requirements, and that's how you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to break stuff down. So I don't want to say it, but I guess they will keep that kind of aspect the same as like in Destiny, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
now, specials, superpowers, shit like that, like the hammer and the golden gun. Is there supers?
I don't think there's supers. There's aspects of it that weren't unlocked because it was the beta. You get skills, and you can interchange your skills at random, where you can either be a medic, you can shoot a sticky bomb, you can do a scan feature for like X-ray radar type stuff, and I think you can update a quote unquote. I don't know if is it called a power tree, Dre? I don't remember.
I think it's skill tree. Okay. And then you also get perks as well. So the only perk they would let us unlock at the beginning was when we got the medic ability. They let us get one of the perks was we get an extra med kit. So instead of 2, we got 3. And they got a whole perk tree on down that line too. And it's broken up in different sections too. So you have I think one was called medical, the second was tech, and then the third one was it was the one with the shield. I can't remember what it was called.
Probably something along the lines of being suppressive. I don't remember what it was called either. But that's what it is. You have skill trees in there. I mean, you could call them abilities, but they're really just additional items. That's really all they are. Right. But they're not true like superpowers where you're going to one-shot an enemy with it. I stuck regular NPCs and fucking regular players in the face with a sticky bomb and detonated it, and they didn't die. It took down quite a bit of their health, but they still didn't die because it's an RPG, and they've got that kind of mechanic into it where you've got to put consistent damage on a target in order to be able to take it out.
Also, they got mods based off that too. So, like you were saying, like that vision post, we had like three different mods on it once we upgraded the ability. So, one was every enemy that you lit up with the post, you do extra damage against them. One would let you light up enemies, but it will also keep your team concealed against a post. And they had
Yeah, they would have the ability to drop. Let's say I had one where there were 4 things popped up. You got critical hit damage, you got normal damage bump, and then you've got concealed, and then there was one other one. I didn't remember what it was, but the pulse is really useful in Dark Zone when you're manhunting and you're trying to run. So.
Okay, so now I've got another question for you guys. Shit, I think I might have forgot it. Okay, yes. So I saw a lot of course, I think there was only like, what, 1, 2, maybe 3 actual missions that were in the beta? Is that right?
One story mission, and I think there were about 5 or 6 side missions that I did.
Okay, so there was at least one where you went through what looked like a stadium that had been retconned into a hospital type fucking setup, and then at some point you end up in a bar looking section.
Yeah.
Now there was a lot of times when I watched people like headshotting the NPCs for a good period of time, and then they'd go down. So I can understand if they were wearing armor, but it didn't. I saw faces. Maybe it was the degradation of it being streamed or something along those lines, but I swear I saw faces. So do you feel that the damage that is taken by people reflects based on the actual what is it, the fucking cosmetic shit that you're seeing? Like if they have armor on their face, do you see armor on their face or anything along those lines?
The most I seen was just they had hoods though. I don't think it affected the armor. Honestly, Ryan was talking about this too while we were playing. You know, they pretty much they are pretty spongy, even though you headshot them. So it's I mean, when you look at it that way, it kind of resembles more of a MMO more than an RPG type game. But
same thing, really, to be honest.
Yeah, to be honest,
but it's I bitched about it during the game because I was like, I was expecting a little bit better damage output and taking from the NPCs because I feel like if I get hit, I'm taking stupid amounts of damage, but vice versa, when they get hit, I'm having to drop clip after clip after clip after clip. And when I was using my sniper rifle, if I'm up against other players in the Dark Zone, I can understand based on level setting on how that isn't going to drop somebody one-shotted. You get with a sniper rifle, you get an additional chance for a super critical hit off of a headshot, but off of it, off of NPCs, you should be able to do massive critical damage, if not one-shot NPCs, if you get a solid face shot on a dude and take him out. Not necessarily a boss, but off of a regular everyday ad, you should be able to just take him out one-shot that way. If it's a precision shot. If it's an M4 and you're dumping a clip in this general area, the way that their accuracy is in this game, you can't count on it to constantly be headshots and let it count. Destiny kind of forces rounds into the head when you're in that area. It's almost hard to not get precision kills in that game. In this game, it's harder to get precision kills, so it really focuses on your skill as a player, on your aiming, versus you just saying, "Oh, if I'm in the area, you need to go down."
Right. Well, see, and I'm actually interested to get my hands on it. With it being a third-person shooter, I'm kind of intrigued by the possibility of a Destiny-style game with like a Gears of War style mechanic. Because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of the stuff that I was seeing, like the diving out of the way, the taking into cover, that was all very reminiscent of Gears of War.
Definitely. It's very Gears, and it's really, I mean, it's a Tom Clancy game, so it's very Rainbow Sixy, with the whole cover aspect and how you shoot around corners. I do think that, like, Vegas and Vegas 2 had better corner shooting than this game does.
Without a doubt.
But, that's a mechanic that they can adjust.
Mm-hmm. You have to also keep in mind it's just a beta.
Well,
this is where I know it's close to the finished game, but this is where the time they can kind of put in from all feedback and kind of hopefully get most of this fixed. But we all know better.
yeah. So if you're putting hopes in that kind of fixing, you're putting hopes in a patch that comes out 6 months from now, because that's not something that they're going to be able to do quickly. Really, what this seems like to me, and I know I've gone on record numerous times talking about this, but it was technically a paid demo, because to me, all you did was you did your pre-orders, however you did it. What? Fuck you. And then, and then you got into this, and you got to stress test, but like I heard one of the Ubisoft guys talking about, or Red Storm, I think, is the guys that are the actual developers of the game, because Ubisoft is the publisher. It was one of these things where it's like the build of the beta was different from what the final game would be. So it's almost like the term in the industry is vertical slice, to where they only allow you to see so much. So I'll give you that it was that. That's still a demo. I've got like masses of fucking demos for the PlayStation 1, like discs that I've still held, that you only have access to levels 1 and 2, and then that's it. We cut you off. It's not a full build. But where was I going with that shit? I totally lost my train of thought.
It did remind me of the Devil May Cry demo, when you look at it that way, from the fact that you've got X amount of time in a game and that's it. I think that you can compare it to a demo. You can compare it to a beta with the number of glitches that they had. So it is kind of, I think you coined the term a BEMO at one point. You called it a beta demo kind of merge. I don't know if that was a misspelling, but I feel like that's an adequate term. So.
All right, so I got another question for you. Fuck. God damn. I need to quit drinking when I'm doing these interviews. But it's just so damn delicious. The hell was I thinking? We were talking about demo.
Not being a paid demo.
No, it is a paid demo. You're not going to catch me off guard with that shit. I wasn't in it, so it was a paid demo. So when I was watching the guys from Red Storm, Ubisoft, whatever the fuck they were, one of them almost let it slip that there will be an unpaid stress test beta that will come out before the actual release. I could be wrong. The guy could have been blowing smoke up the ass of everybody that was watching, because most of the people that were watching are people that are like, I'm interested, but I'm not going to pre-order it because I got burned on Destiny, which that's me. But the more I watched of it, like early on, I'm not gonna lie to you. Early on, it was like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not dropping $60 on this. This is another Destiny. I'm gonna have to play this at least 2 hours a night to be able to get the gear, to get up, to go in and fight Crota. And I don't know how they're gonna work him in. Is he gonna be at Radio City Music Hall? Is he gonna be up there with the can dancers? And I gotta shoot him in his fucking big glowy spot. But
No, it's funny. They actually talked about it today. And not to make it sound like Destiny even more, they actually talked about it's going to be raised on there.
I win!
There it was. There it is.
I win! I win!
I wonder though, with that point, Ian, before you go off on your little fun, I wonder if it's going to be 6-person or if it's going to be 4-person.
I hope it's not 4-person.
Yeah, you know what? It'll probably be 8-person, because think about it. 3 people go into Fire Team in Destiny. 4 people could go into whatever the little squad is in this. And it takes 2 fire teams in Destiny to make up a raid squad. Illuminati.
Let's be real.
Look at you with your math.
Nobody think that was weird that we only have a fire team of 3? Like,
in Destiny?
Where did they get 3 from?
I don't know.
Always 4.
Oh, wait, hold on. You sidetracked my rant. hold on. I win, because here we go. So you've got Destiny. Bear with me, because I'm going to go on a little tangent here as I shake my fucking camera. You got Destiny, and that's your Halo, quite literally. And now you've got your Division, which is your Modern Warfare. Call of Duty.
No.
Because
No.
bear with me. I said bear with me. So you've got these two separated. You've got your Warfare, and you've got your modern shit. And no, we're totally different. I swear, we're completely different from each other. Don't compare us to Destiny because we're totally different. No. If I gotta grind ranks to be able to buy something from one person at different levels, you are exactly like the game that came before. Yes, you can learn from what Destiny has done and do it better, but you are still mimicking the fuck out of Destiny and Ghost Recon Future Warfighter.
I can't wait for Flash Gets to go ahead and do a video comparing the Division to Destiny.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Awesome. But so I want to make sure that I correct you on one point. You keep talking about you have to grind a rank out to buy something from one vendor. In the Dark Zone, and you're not going to really see a difference here, I already know it. You have a Dark Zone rank and you have your regular rank, right? These are just your levels, or like general experience levels. You gain experience, they go up. It is what it is. You don't have a rank per vendor, right? So you're not getting one rank here, one rank here, one rank here, one rank here, one rank up your mom's ass. You're getting one rank entirely for Dark Zone and then one normal rank. And both increase while you're in the Dark Zone. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter what vendor you go to. You can go to the main vendor when you walk in. You can go to a different safe house, go to that vendor. Yeah, they all sell different gear, but the levels to buy specific tiers of gear are all the same. I.e., if you want to get a blue or purple piece of gear, you need to at least be rank 12, at least in the beta. It might be different in the full game. If you need to get a gold piece of gear, you might need to be at this rank. It doesn't matter. What vendor you go to, the rank is all going to be the same.
Okay, now this raises a question, because earlier we were talking about how you lost 2 ranks in one session. Yes. I'm going to keep bringing that up.
Three ranks.
3 ranks. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me, you inadequate fuck. So my question to you is I know that your experience from outside the Dark Zone is it's separate. Now, you were saying that you went down 3 ranks in the Dark Zone. Can you D-rank? Like, can you lose levels? Like, let's say I get up to level... Because I know 8 was the level cap on the
regular.
No, okay. I'm seeing his head shake violently.
Yeah, no, you can't. No, you don't lose rank that way.
You have your base rank, right, where it's 1. It was 8 was the max cap, and then your Dark Zone rank was, and the color scheme when you watch, it's gold for normal rank, and then it's purple for Dark Zone rank. Dark Zone rank is the only one that will fluctuate based on it. Now, inside the Dark Zone, you can gain normal experience at the same time as you're getting Dark Zone experience. If you kill NPCs, you'll get a little bit of both. If you kill regular players, you'll get more. You get more Dark Zone experience because that's where you are, but you'll get regular experience at a minimal amount the more you do that. Which if all you did was that is the Destiny grind right there.
Yeah,
that is what that is.
Because they kind of related to that Destiny type of grind. You know how, like, obviously Ryan hated going to Crucible at all when he first played. All he did was the PvE part of Destiny.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing he wanted to mess with, right? Obviously, you're going to have people that want to do the same thing here. All they're going to want to do is not even go through the story. They don't even want to enjoy the story. They want to just stay in the Dark Zone all day, every day. Obviously, there's going to, like they said, it's going to be missions and stuff involved that you can do. Bounties, different people you can kill, different people you can go save and stuff like that, just like in a regular game. So even if you want to just level up your Dark Zone rank, you're ranking up your regular rank as well.
The key point, though, is you have to be a specific regular base rank and a Dark Zone rank to buy a piece of gear. So in order for me to get a purple or a blue piece of gear in the beta, I had to max it out. I had to be at 8 and 12 at minimum. You know, and you can't go above that, obviously, but in the beta. But at the same time, it was one of those things where you have, like, it's geared to make you play outside of the dark zone. You can sit in the dark zone and grind it out if you really feel like it. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to eventually leave it if you want to get it faster and get the gear faster, unless you just end up stealing it off somebody. But you can't equip it until you get to the right level.
So now, here's another really, it's probably going to sound like a strange question to you. When it comes to the single story that you were able to kind of play through, did it feel believable? Did it sell it to you? Like, I mean, did you really feel like you were in
Doing something worthwhile?
Yeah, because I mean, Dinkbot or Northbot, whatever the hell you want to call it nowadays, basically woke you up and said, "You got lots of questions. I'm not gonna fucking answer them. Shoot shit." Did you feel like there was more to the Division than there was to Destiny, at least within that first snippet, that Hershey kiss of a taste of chocolate?
Me personally, if I had to be honest, starting out the game, like you said, with that little piece of chocolate, no, I wouldn't have felt any of that if I didn't go more into detail. You know, that's also plays in when you go and do these different side missions and finding journals and these survival guides. You kind of learn a little bit more about the story and like what actually happened. But I think once they go more in detail, once the real game come out, I think it really is going to help pull people in. Like it was kind of vague on what actually happened. All you know is it's a virus that spreads, that breaks out, but you don't really got any background or detail behind it.
I feel, as far as my opinion, I feel like it started off okay. You do have a lot of questions based on where you start in the story, because you don't know anything that happened prior to. Like Dre said, it's a virus. You're one of 5% of people that couldn't get infected by it, and now you're trying to rebuild a city and take it back from somebody else who currently controls it. Who controls it? I don't fucking know. But at the same time, I feel like running around, like Dre said, picking up survival journals, and really, I think what's going to explain the story is those echoes. So you can run around, and it'll say you're synchronizing something. You stand in the middle of it, you wait, you activate the echo, and what it does is it brings up a hologram of what happened at that area during when everything went to fucking shit. And you essentially just investigate different holograms, and it brings up a recording. It's only audio that you hear of, what happened, and you can kind of piece together how things went in different parts of the city. Now, what I'm expecting is as you rebuild each base, which is very tower-oriented, but it's more intensive than just unlocking a tower. You actually have to go build a base and fucking build a medical wing, a security wing, and you got to go get all these parts and bring it back. I really feel like this is going to be one of those games that wraps you in and keeps you because of the amount of physical content in this game. Everybody, I was a big proponent of Destiny with the fact that the new content came out. You look at it now, it's a complete game. You can go do all this shit, but it's still all super repetitive. In this one, I feel like there's going to be more to constantly unlock every day.
Yeah, I agree.
Like new shit constantly.
Like Warframe?
Yeah, but not as grind intensive as Warframe. Warframe is the definition, the true definition of grind, and I don't want to hear you say shit.
I didn't open my mouth about the $200 you spent on that fucking game.
Let's go fight this
You
ball
son of a fucking twat.
1,200 times just to see if I get these 3 pieces just to make it this Warframe. Gotcha.
That's some shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys have anything else that you want to throw out there? Because I seriously have run out of questions because I didn't write anything down. This is all just off the top of my head.
Like a true reporter.
Well, I mean, I'm not claiming that you blamed the president for something and then you're trying to backpedal out of it.
Right. Love the Division. Make it your baby. Pre-order today.
What? Whose dick are you sucking? I mean, and then he turns like to the side, like he's gonna do the "I approve this message" kind of shit going on.
I was almost waiting to see Ubisoft come up over Arkansas.
Right, kind of like that the more you know shit from when we were kids.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great.
Oh
Okay.
man, I mean, I don't have anything else to say about the game. I'm down for it. I'm sold, but I'm sold on the $60 version. We'll see what the season pass and all that extra DLC dictates, and when it comes out, and what the season truly is in length.
So we obviously have a crew, the Late Night Enforcers, where we have a crew that does Destiny. We're gonna have a crew that does the Division. Was there anybody else that was playing with you guys that I was unaware of that was already in the Destiny crew?
Nagrum is Nagrum 700. We actually picked up a new guy today. I was playing with them last night, and he jumped into the group today. His name's Kevin. I don't remember what his gamer tag is. My buddy, the Immortal John, he's not really into Destiny, but I added him to the group. He's gonna be a Division guy. I think Brant and Caleb were kind of thinking about it. They're going to look at the videos and make their decision off that. I know T-Van, also Sissy, same guy, he's all about it. He just is real pissed that he couldn't pre-order it and drop $5 to get into a beta.
I don't think it was necessary to be able to drop $5 to get into the beta, because at some point I think they're going to go ahead and turn around and let everybody do it for free. Now, I am one of these people that, luckily enough, there isn't going to be a lot coming out around Destiny, and I make the fat banks, yo. That's a joke for anyone who's ever seen my bank account. So, $60 doesn't seem like a bad thing, but I think, being someone that's only watched it from an outside perspective, watching the streams, watching the videos that Ryan's uploaded to the YouTube channel of LateNightEnforcers.com. YouTube.com/LateNightEnforcers. Look it up. Like it. You're already here. You're already watching this. Subscribe. Hit the like. Leave a comment telling me I'm a dick. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. So I'm going to look at the reviews, and I'm probably going to hit you guys up. Did the light just turn off on you, Dre?
Oh yeah, I think Slender coming.
Run, get out now. Go.
So I'm gonna
Fuck you son of a fucking bitch.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the reviews. Of course, then again, the reviews aren't gonna. We're not gonna get scores on the reviews until like a week after launch, because they're gonna do the whole. We have to wait and see how the servers hold up. I would kind of like them to do like a first impression, like a press impression, a first few days impression, and then a final number is what I'd like to see, because I want to be a part of it quickly, but I don't want a Destiny, because it took a year for Destiny to be a full game, and now they're not going to do anything for another year until they put out something else, which that's a discussion for a whole nother podcast. So I'm going to be leaning on you guys a lot to tell me what you like. And Dre, I swear to God, if you look at me and you say, buy the Destiny, bro, or buy the Division, bro, I'm just going to be like, no, now I don't believe you. Because Ryan's going to look at me and he's going to go, buy the Division, bro. And then, of course, I'm going to hear from Sissy, because he's going to buy it. And then he's going to be like,
another one.
Another one.
Don't.
Another one.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for watching our video. It has been a glorious evening here on the Late Night Enforcers. I have spoken with Black and White. We have laid down and we have talked about the Division Destiny, Beta, Alpha, Zeta, Max, Omega. Here soon it will go gold. Maybe, I'm killing them, ladies and gentlemen. Here soon, hopefully, it will go gold. It will be available to the masses, the unwashed masses, per se, because I don't leave my sanctorum. I obviously film everything that I do from my bedroom at my mom's house. Hi, Mom. And I just
the meatloaf.
I'll take the trash. I'm
Hey, that cheeseburger meatloaf pretty good.
Cheeseburger meatloaf. Yeah, watch what you're doing, bro. We can see ya. I mean, it's all good. Nobody's like judging you.
All right.
Balls deep up in it. We do appreciate you coming out. Shortly after the release, I haven't pitched this to Ryan or Dre yet. Don't lean up on the camera with your nose like that. That's going to make me sick. But we will do impressions. We'll do early impressions. We'll do maybe 3-6 months into it. We'll do an impression there. We'll do DLC impressions. We'll do a year impressions. We'll chronicle. We'll talk about it a lot, and I'll bitch, and I'll complain, and I'll be drunk. I'm not quite there. I've got one more can of this in the fridge. I'm going to go get it here in a second. I'm going to drink it. But we're going to do that. So if you just happen to stumble across us, and you've made it this far into our video, hurrah. Let me give you that. Smack that subscribe button that is somewhere in this general vicinity. There's all sorts of content that's coming to the channel here soon. A lot of it based on The Division. Some of it will be older videos that me and Ryan have done on other YouTube channels. We'll go ahead and bring those into this one channel so that you can see all of the great content of Ryan shitting himself while he's running from a stationary man with tentacles trying to fuck him in the ass and the mouth at the same time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We warned you about the Slender Man. Watch out. He's coming for you. He gonna get you. Big old white ass motherfucker.
That flashlight does not work on him. I promise you that. Yeah. So on the real, everybody drop a like, drop a comment, tell us what you want to see, tell us what you want us to say. I mean, we probably won't say it, but we'll at least tell us. I don't know. I'm drunk now. So
now, what did you have? Like a swirler, a swirl on the 77.
No, 3. And
hey, this is chocolate drop. We out.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to drop. Okay. All right. Later, guys. Have a good night.